Hi there, I'm so glad you've joined me for this bear making mini course. I'm Helen Gleeson and this is my first ever video course. In this mini course, I want to share with you a few of my top tips to make sure that you get as much enjoyment out of your bear making as I do. I have struggled myself over the years and I've refined these simple steps and it's changed my pastime into a real passion. In day one, we're going to look at some ideas for building a beautiful bear making kit. And in day two, we're going to organise our patterns. Day three, have you ever struggled with noses? There is nothing worse than making a beautiful bear and then have it ruined by a bad nose. I'll show you how I make my clay noses so you too can get the perfect nose every time. Okay, so let's get started today with the best ever bear making kit. I'm going to show you what I use and I hope it gives you some ideas. So here's the side table I use with a jewellery box and a jewellery tray. What I love about this is that the tray lifts off and I can pack up and put everything away at the end of the night. I can also set it up just as quickly. Let's start by taking a look at my jewellery box and try and find something with a few drawers. In this first drawer are the things that I use the most. And I've repurposed these business card boxes to keep my cottons from rolling around. And I like to use these covers to stop the threads from unravelling and getting tangled. And you actually leave these on and then you can just pull the thread that you want to use. And in this last box here I have my waxed thread or sinew and also my perle cotton which I use for the mouth and I use it in the number 8. Just a few other tools here. I have my favourite, which is my curved forceps. I love these really fine curved forceps. Of course, a couple of sharp scissors. And a great way to store your doll needles, I use this scrap of suede in my favourite colour, and this makes selecting the right one super easy. Alright, so let's take a look in the second drawer. Again, some little boxes, keeping things nice and tidy. So first I've got my little tape measure, it's always good to have on hand, and of course I've upgraded to this retractable one so no need to fold up the ones that tend to unravel. I have a supply of needles and I use leather needles. It's always a good idea to have plenty on hand, and this little brush that I'll show you again later. And here's another beautiful way to store small needles, a hand turned Jarrah needle case, and I bought this at a craft fair. And just a couple of other tools here. I have my cotter pin turner, tapered awl, and I also have this sharpener. It's really good for keeping your scissors sharp, so that's a good investment. I always like to have my scissors very sharp. Okay, and to make my clay noses I have a paint spatula, so that's for a artist palette, and I have some wire and of course the clay. I have black and brown clay there. Now I really love this top section with its little compartments. I have 20 of these little tins and the clear lids are perfect. Here are my eyes in a range of sizes that I use, and having them in these separate containers makes it so easy just to be able to tip them out rather than having to try and pick them up out of a tray that holds multiple sizes. And you can put the size either in the bottom of the tin itself or if you prefer to be able to see it all the time, you can have it on the side there. So I've chosen a few of the different size joints that I typically like to work with, and some cotter pins and T-pins, some noses, buttons, and I also do like to just collect up the odds and ends that I have on my tray, and I just put them all in one tin. It means that if I ever need to take a little selection of pieces with me on the go, I can just grab that one tin. Here is how I store my bulk or extra supplies. These tins are actually magnetic spice jars from IKEA, and I created the boards myself. So there's actually instructions on how to make your own in the downloadable PDF of this course. So now that we have taken a look at how I store my tools and supplies, I hope you're inspired and have some new ideas for your own bear making kit. So here is my jewellery tray, which is the other half of my setup. I prefer this velvet lined one as it catches and holds the mink flyaways. I just drop on my works in progress. It's great for holding what you need. So a couple of tools, scissors, cotton, my pincushion, needles never get lost down the side of my couch anymore. So it's really good to be able to have everything in one place. This makes setting up and packing up a breeze. I have everything I need all together and it's so simple to clean. That little brush I showed you before, you just simply run it across the velvet and it picks up all of the fur. So no more vacuuming the house. You just have your fur stuck on this one little tray. And you're never going to lose your needle down the side of the couch again. And here's how I store my bears that I'm working on. I keep them in their own little boxes, all together on a separate tray. So not only does this give me bears at different stages to go on with, but I can pick up what I want to take with me on the go. So for this I have this little leather pouch. You could use a pencil case or something similar, and I just select the few things that I need to be working on. Grab my tools, so my pincushion, scissors, needle, thread, and I can just put that into my handbag and have something to work on while I'm away from my house. Now each day in this mini course there will be a video and also a downloadable PDF. So today's PDF includes instructions to make these 3 very easy projects. So first of all there's the pincushion ring and your own stuffing bag and also the magnetic mood board. Right, so number 1 is the pincushion ring, and this is probably one of the simplest ways to improve your bear making. I cannot live without this now. I have a clover one which you might be able to hunt around on the internet and find, but I've also created my very own, so I will never be without one again. So very simple to make. All you will need is the ring base, and you can buy these on Etsy for less than $1 each, and a tiny scrap of your favourite fabric. So to make this you just simply run a gathering thread around the edge of the circle of the scrap of fabric and just tighten it slightly so that when you put the stuffing in it stays inside, and then just knot it off completely so that you've created this little ball. And just with some super glue you can simply put the bottom into the base of the ring and your little ring pincushion is finished. So this is a simple 5-minute project and you'll have it for years to come. So project number 2 is a stuffing bag, and maybe you're still storing your stuffing in a plastic bag, but once you've had a look at this I'm hoping that you'll want to make this little weekend project. Okay, so first of all I just want to show you how I store my steel shot. So this gives weight to your bear. I have it in this squeezy sauce bottle, so it means that I can put the nozzle straight into the back of the bear and squeeze the steel shot straight in. Alright, so here is my beautiful stuffing bag. It holds my Majestic Monero wool oil and polyfill blend, and the bag is 2 layers, so pick your 2 favourite fabrics and make this bag in a weekend. Okay, and now on to the third and final project is the mood board. So here are a couple of ideas for you. The centre one being the magnetic mood board, which can take the IKEA spice jars. The other 2 I have actually made 3D, so the front glass panel actually opens up. These are made from just normal picture frames from Target, and you can see that that's really quite an inspirational wall for my bear making supplies. So again, take a look at the different fabrics that you have, pick a few that you really enjoy looking at, and you might make a cork board as well. Cover some cork with one of your fabrics and pin some beautiful pictures to it. Okay, so that's day number 1 of your Bear Making Mastery mini course. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found some inspiration for your own bear making kit, and I do hope that you'll try out a couple of these little DIY projects and make your bear making all the better for it. and I hope you're looking forward to day 2 of your Bear Making Mastery mini course. We're going to organise your patterns, and I'm going to include a free bear cub design pattern to get you started.